Now on BBC World News, John Simpson speaks to residents of and visitors to China's wartime capital of Chongqing, mercilessly bombed by the Japanese during the Second World War, and now the biggest metropolis in the world.
Hello and welcome to Chongqing in western central China. Now, you may not have heard of Chongqing. It's not a household name like Beijing or Tokyo or London or Paris. It is probably the biggest municipality in the world now. And like so much in China, it's all grown in a very short space of time. It was founded essentially in 1997. There's always been a city here called Chongqing. In fact, during the Second World War against the Japanese, between the Chinese and the Japanese, it was the Chinese capital, the temporary Chinese capital. Slightly nervous here, I might be ended in midstream by the traffic, which is a little bit unforgiving here. But you can see what's happening in this fantastic city now. These amazing buildings going up everywhere. This is a city, well, the municipality, which includes the areas outside the city, has a bigger population than Poland or Canada. It's an extraordinary centre, and it's becoming the centre of new industries here. I went the other day to a bus factory where they're starting to make green buses. It's in the forefront of Chinese and therefore of world industry. But I want to show you just another side of it, a side that is actually sadly dying out. So in a way, I'm hoping this will be something of a sort of historical record of what Chinese life used to be rather than what it is now. We're going down, oh, first of all, I should tell you before we go anywhere else, the source of the music is here, and this is a sort of social service, really, so that people can come and dance. Really nice. Really charming. Look at this. There's a very stately, elderly couple here. A couple of men dancing together. A couple of old ladies dancing together. Actually, they're probably not as old as I am. And but down here is a different world, and I'll deal in a moment with why we should be interested in this world, but I want to show it to you. It's called 18 steps. 18 in Chinese is an expression, well, Han Chinese is an expression really just meaning a lot of steps, because there is rather a lot more than 18 steps. Now, I have to say, this is going to be one of the most dangerous Simpsons worlds ever recorded, and the cameraman is in serious danger of his life walking down here sideways, not being able to look where he's walking. I at least can walk here. And our translator, Edra Liang, who's been a fantastic help to us on this trip, is going to just simply interpret for me as we go around the steps. The fact is, this is all just about to be knocked down, probably in the next few weeks or so. And it's a part of old China, it's a part of old Chongqing, of course, the important part, but it's a part that's completely dying out. I don't think it's very beautiful or anything like that, and most of the houses are fairly new, certainly since the founding of the communist state in 1949. But it's just got so much vibrancy. When you walk down here, you feel you're at the very heart of China as it's been for 5,000 years, a country with such strong traditions that it's not really possible to break it. I'm going to have to walk carefully here because, as you can perhaps see, there's oil and God knows what on the ground, and it's all very careful. Again, I just want to stress, very different from modern Chongqing. What's he doing, Edward? What is all this?
Oh, this is a fortune telling. This is a fortune teller. Basically, I think he just by using some principles from Taoism to help people know about their future.
I see. Well, I'd like to know what mine is. Pretty short, I should think. Okay. I like his hat with the yin and yang symbol on it. That's very good. So what's he writing down there, I wonder? His lucky numbers or something? Perhaps he's writing down his email address.
I think it's birthday.
Ah, yes.
Writing down his birthday.
Yes.
So you need to know which year, in which month, and which day you were born. So from that, the 8 figures, they can tell your what's your destiny like.
Well, I once had my fortune told. I don't believe in any of these things. I'm a deep skeptic, but I had my fortune told by a fortune teller, a Chinese fortune teller, and he foretold that I was going to have a son. And at my advanced age, I have a son who's now 4 years old. I didn't think I'd believe him. I didn't think it could be true. It's just that every set of steps, every flat place down these 18 steps, there are little stalls. There's everything. I mean, here I don't think I've ever seen this before. There are just these little styluses from phones. It's from mobile phones. It's serving every single little sort of tiny ecological niche is kind of catered for here, and it's got that, seems to me to have that extraordinary Chinese ability to make a living under the weirdest and most difficult, most straitened circumstances, and I have to say, to be charming about it. This is now the second time I've been down here. The other day when we came down, I don't think I've ever been so nicely received by people. Maybe they won't be like that. Ni hao.
Ni hao.
Can you ask him how old he is?
他多大了？
2岁半。
2.5-year-old.
Very nice.
他妈原来住在这个地方。
Oh, his mom used to live here, so that's why we came back to have a look.
Oh, just to see what does he know they're going to pull it down?
那你们知道这个地方会被拆吗？
知道，就是专门过来带小孩过来看，他们从来没来过这里。
That's why I, specifically took my child to visit this place because they've never seen this place before. We know it's going to be knocked down.
Well, that's very nice. You can see. Thank you.
谢谢。
Thank you very much. You can see here, I mean, we're not talking about great architectural distinction. I mean, this is plaster and wood. It's uncomfortable inside. It's drafty. It's rainy. It smells quite a lot. Believe me, I went into some places a little bit further down. So I just really feel that one always has in this country more than most to kind of defend the interest in the purely picturesque, the purely attractive, but often very run down. It's a Western thing, of course. I mean, if the Chinese, local Chinese authorities, who are, have to say, a bit suspicious of us on this trip anyway, with no reason, if they knew that we were going to do this program, they would say, absolutely typical. All they want to do is to show the worst of China, the bad stuff, the cheap and broken down stuff, and they're ignoring the fantastic shiny buildings that are going up everywhere. That is true. The fact is, of course, that those shiny buildings are precisely the same as every other shiny building all over the world. A Simpson's world which simply took us round the centre of Chongqing would be almost inseparable from any kind of Simpson's world in Shanghai or in Beijing itself, or in Singapore, or in Hong Kong, or in Milan, or any other city you can name, because inevitably now things are becoming homogenized. Remember the famous American writer Gertrude Stein going to a city in California and saying there's no there, meaning there's nothing that distinguishes that place from any other place. And we're living in a world where there is increasingly no there. This, well, I'll never forget it, like the chap we just chanced to speak to. Can we speak to this lady here? It's a bit rough to stop her when she's got to go up. Can you just ask her, does she know that they're going to pull all this down?
您好，您住在这里吗？你知道这个地方要被拆掉了吗？
知道，应该会拆吧。
We're not living here, but we know it's going to be knocked down. It's going to happen.
What does she think? Is she glad to see it go?
那你觉得这块地区被拆掉，你感觉怎么样？
哎，走习惯了，好像拆了就不怎么习惯吧。
We'll probably yeah. It will take a while for us to get used to the change, since we've been like walking on the street for so long. So it will take a while for us to get used to it.
Yes. Once it's gone, it's gone. Thank you very much.